Okay, so we know Nick Jag has now got the money and he's on his way to the city. We've met Victor Bodkins, that he likes money. The Oddkins are on their way on the back end of a truck, and the Charin toys are trying to make their way there too. So we're on part 17. The Oddkins will be heading down to the highway. We've got to stop them. Those had been the words of the tuxedo-clad marionette when he had urged the robot, the bee, and the other toys to leave Victor Bodkins and pursue the stuffed toys instead. Hoping to catch sight of one of the impossible creatures again, Victor drove back to the main highway and turned north. Hunching over the steering wheel, he eased the car slowly along the gravel shoulder, peering intently into the rain-lashed gloom of the edge of the dark woods. He was seeking a tiny flicker of the robot's glowing yellow eyes, or the darting flight of the soda can-sized bee, or the hurried movements of the stuffed toys that he had first seen crossing the lane in his headlights. He realized that these creatures were quite small and that the forest was quite large. He knew there was little chance he would get another look at these toys, but he could not give it up easily. He'd been given a glimpse of something wondrous, something magical. Suddenly his entire orderly, disciplined way of life was trembling under him, as if it were a rickety bamboo platform. He had to know what they were and where they came from, and what connection did they have with his uncle. In time he came to a roadside restaurant and service station. The enormous orange and purple neon sign on the roof said, "Harley's Place Eats and Grass, Truckers Welcome." Seems bigger than the building underneath. The falling rain was tinted by the neon and looked like millions of strands of gaudy tinsel. Victor pulled into the parking lot, intended to pause there for a few moments to think. As he entered, he passed two trucks that were heading onto the highway. The first was an olive green United States Army transport, the cargo bed of which was enclosed with wood and canvas. One canvas flap at the rear was loose and billowing in the wind. The second truck had a long open bed that was piled high with 8-foot lengths of large steel pipes, held in place by chains and wooden wedges. As the second truck slowly rumbled past, only 2 feet to the left of Victor's car, he was startled to see the male marionette perched on the cargo. He was standing on the wooden wedge, gripping a chain with one small hand and the rim of the steel pipe with the other. He was leaning out to peer forward past the cab of his own truck towards the back of the army transport. Rain drizzled on the brim of the wicked-looking creature's top hat. The truck continued to roll by, and the marionette slid out of sight. Then Victor saw the toy robot. It was half in and half out with one of the stacked pipes. It turned its evil glowing eyes on Victor as they passed each other. They were separated only by the car window, a couple feet of open air and thin curtains of neon-colored rain. The robot's arm drew back and snapped forward in a throwing motion. A small object, maybe a pebble perhaps, a scrap of wood or metal, struck the side of window of Victor's car directly in front of his face, and he flinched. The glass did not crack. Behind Victor, the truck pulled out onto the rainy highway, carrying the robot and the marionette and the other toys away into the storm. Victor pinched himself. Ouch! Then he frantically turned the car around, and the chase began. And that's the end of part 17.